right, Big Court. How's it going?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Staying busy.
Yeah, man.
I know,
hot out here.
It is. It is. Today's actually a cooler day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As sad as that sounds.
Yeah.
But
hey, where I'm at in Calabasas, it's like, bro, it's like 106, 107.
So you're really cooking.
So this is a little cooler for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get into getting to know you a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're from Kansas City,
Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you know you've been with Master P for
since 96, 95.
95, so
yeah,
a little bit
26
more.
26 years.
26 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you know you've been a rapper. We'll get into everything. You've been a rapper, and now you just like Master P's like assistant now. I take it, or
nah, we business partners. That's
partners.
Big brother. Yeah, that's my big bro. You know, we have business ventures together. You know what I mean? People that normally see me, if you look at a lot of his videos and his content, you see me. People tend to think I'm the bodyguard. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm P's right hand man. You know what I mean? So, but whatever the job calls for at the time. You know, sometime I may be the bodyguard because that's my partner. You know what I'm saying? Sometime I might be muscle. Sometime, hell, I might even be the shooter. You never know. But, you know, we have business ventures and shit together as well.
Okay. And you also rap for a while.
Yeah, I started out as a rapper back in the day. I signed with No Limit in 1995. I was a part of a group called CCG from Kansas City. So we signed. I was a duo. So we signed in 95. The first record we did was R.I.P., a song called R.I.P. with Master P and Silk the Shocker.
Okay.
And went gold.
And went gold.
Went
okay.
gold.
That's what's up. Yeah. And that's before No Limit even like blew up, right?
That was right there right at the cusp. That was right when he did the deal with Priority. So Down South Hustlers came out, and then Ice Cream Man came out like a few months after that.
Okay. All right. Well, what was it like for you growing up in Kansas City?
Man, Kansas City, you know, I'm from a neighborhood called the Faux Block. I had a beautiful childhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm an only child. I grew up in a household, love, you know, education was a focus point. My grandmother, my mother, I was raised by, you know, strong, educated women. But, you know, toward the 80s, you know what I'm saying? You know, the whole crack cocaine thing starts invading the hood, gangs and all of that. So, you know, at the end of the day, my household was good, but you got to go outside, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the West Coast cats migrated to Midwestern cities and Southern cities. And, you know, my neighborhood was colonized, I guess, if you want to say, you know, by Crips. So it became a Crip neighborhood. You know, that's why they call it the Faux Block with 2 C's. And then you had Bloods come to the city as well. So you start seeing a lot of the local hustlers, whoever they were copping they dope from, that's who they align themselves with. So out in the 50s and the 60s, some places in the 60s, but mainly the 50s and some of the 30s, people in Kansas City know what I'm talking about. You know, they align themselves with Bloods because a lot of Brims and bounty hunters and different blood sets came to Kansas City. But then Crips, you had a lot of 60s, you had a lot of East Coast Crips, some 40s come down to Kansas City. So they brought that gang culture. So now the environment becomes hostile, you know. So now, you know, I still got to go outside. So you're influenced by, you know, that, and you become affiliated by default. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was a regular kid growing up. I was a, you know, I ain't gonna say straight A student, but I was on the honor roll. You know, I excelled in school. I excelled in sports, you know what I mean? So I graduated high school, but you know, I got street poison like every other kid in the hood, you know what I'm saying? By 13, 14, you start smelling your piss, like your parents would say. And, you know, shit, I went to what? I called my first case at 15, so.
And what'd you get busted for?
Shit, man, it's a true story, bruh. We ended up robbing a gun store, you know. You know, like I said before, the neighborhood becomes hostile, right? So you start seeing your homeboys getting robbed for their starter coats, for their Jordans. You start seeing your homeboys getting shot. You got the gang element. So in a sense, you become reactive, you know, to your environment. So because you become afraid. You don't want to be victimized. So what you say is, okay, that ain't gonna happen to me. So you tool up, you know what I mean? And you like, shit, nah, ain't nobody taking shit from me, you know? And that's a reactionary thing because you're afraid. So I figured we needed better guns, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the gang shit was off the chain. This was like 91, 92, about 91, 90, something like that. So I was sitting at home one day, true story. I was watching Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon. And there's a scene where the car goes straight through the front of the store. And Gary Busey disappears and Mel Gibson goes looking for him. So I was like, man, we could do that shit. I was like, man, because I was good at stealing cars, you know what I mean? So I called my homeboy J-Dub, like, dog, we could steal a car, run it right through the gun store, go in behind the car, get the guns, and we good. Man, we did that shit. You know what I mean? We did it. We actually.
Can you take me through it? You've been to jail for this, right? You got busted.
Yeah. This is
okay.
It's all.
Can you take me through the whole
I'll
process,
take you through the
bro.
whole thing. So we end up stealing a Celebrity. Some of the youngsters ain't gonna know what kind of car that is, but the Chevy Celebrities, the Caprice Classics, the Oldsmobiles, they were super easy to steal because of the steering column. So you could just get in, break the wind glass, take the flathead screwdriver, pop the left side of it, pop the little ring off. You'd be gone in 2-3 minutes. And so we would do that and we would joyride. I would have stolen cars parked around my neighborhood by that time. You know what I'm saying? I remember getting into it with niggas over stealing my stolen car. You know what I mean? So, you know, we kept them around the neighborhood. And so getting a car was easy. So we got the car and we literally went out to, we got on Highway 70. We drove out to the gun store. It was in a city called Independence. We drove out there and we literally, we had 2 cars because we knew we had to, you know, drive that one through the store. So we had 2, I believe we had 2 stolen cars. I don't know if we was in J-Dub's car. I can't remember. But we basically wedged a stick and in between the gas pedal and the seat and did put it down and drive, and it ran straight through the front of it, just like it did on TV, you know. And so we was looking, we kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 15, I'm the youngest out of everybody. Everybody else 16, 17, 18. So we run in behind the store, run in behind the car, we grab the guns, put them in the back of the other car in the trunk. And we strategically hit that store because it was right by the highway. Literally at the corner of the block, you get right on the highway and go back to the city. So.
How many people were with you?
4.
4. You plus 4?
No, it was 4 of us together.
Total.
Yeah,
okay.
It was 3 other people with me. And we got away. We got away. And so here, I'm 15 years old. I got brand new 40 caliber at the time. The Taurus, we had Tauruses were popular back then. Glocks really wasn't a thing in the early 90s like that. So if you had a Ruger or a Taurus or something like that, a Beretta, shit, you was the man. So I had a couple chrome Tauruses with the redwood handle with the gold trigger, gold hammer and all that. We had 40s, 9s, ARs, techs. I had a gang of shit. We was in the business, you know. And so we got back to the hood. We divvied up the guns. And this is a true story. Minor oversight. We realized that we weren't old enough to buy bullets, and we didn't have any bullets.
Oh, shit.
Right. So thinking like a child, 15, year old child, I say about a week later, we rolled by the gun store and we see that they had just put plywood up. They didn't fix it. They didn't do anything. They just put plywood up. So one night we go back to the same gun store. I walk up to it. I pull the plywood off. I hop in, and then I go get a bunch of ammunition. So we done hit them twice within a week. We get away. Do the same thing, we get away. That was a wild summer, to say the least. Again, you're talking about a 15-year-old child, with, these influences, and then you're talking about having automatic weapons. You're already talking about a volatile environment with gang banging, and just poverty and all of that, and so we had a wild summer, bunch of shootings, bunch of shootouts that we got into, because now we got the artillery. And with that artillery, our attitude different too. You know what I'm saying? So now we not backing down. Not that we were backing down to begin with, but now we really ain't backing down, you know. So, you know, it was a couple shootings linked to those guns. And we eventually got caught. We got caught. Well, we had did a couple other successful, because that just started becoming our thing. We did a couple other successful hits. We tried to hit another gun store not too far from that. This time the car veered off and we were trying to go through, they had on side of the building, they had a receiving garage. We tried to go through the little garage part and the car veered off and hit the wall instead of the garage. So that one was fucked up. But again, we're kids and we leaving clues behind and not even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? So we have a crazy summer, man. We had about a 3-4 month run of just robbing a bunch of folks, shooting at a bunch of folks, just doing a bunch of dumb shit. And finally, that other shoe dropped one night. We were about to hit another gun store and the police, well, we had robbed a pawn shop, you know, but we were about to hit another spot and the police, they saw us. Police, they seen the car. My homeboy's car was hot. We didn't know because we had done so much in it. And man, he circled back around and my homeboy J-Dub was like, man, I forgot what he said. I don't know if he was trying to leave or I told him, nah, man, let's just act like the car broke down. And so I can't remember what we did, but we end up like trying to pull off real quick and they got behind us and they stopped us. And so, man, as soon as we stopped, we pulled over. As soon as they was like, driver, put your hands out, you know what I'm saying? We knew it was all bad. We had guns in the car. I had a gun at my feet. We had 4 guns in the car. 4 of us, we had 4 guns. Mm-hmm. They was all stolen. They was all from the, you know, we shot motherfuckers with the gun. Oh, it was bad. So to answer your question, I end up going to juvenile. My first time ever being arrested, being locked up. I had already been in the gang file, and I had been in the gang file like on some stupid shit, you know, because I was never active like that, but I was affiliated, you know what I mean? I was in the gang file because I had some shit cut in the back of my head. You know, I don't know, back in the day, remember, had the high top fade and you cut the little shit in the back of your head. So they put me in the gang file from that. So I end up going to juvenile. I didn't even realize how serious the charges were. This is the mindset of a wayward, misguided child, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. I didn't even understand the seriousness of it. I was so arrogant with the detectives. I never, for one, they shouldn't even been questioning me. I didn't know that in real time, you know what I'm saying? The detectives were questioning me about what y'all did, where y'all get the guns, did y'all do that? I didn't say shit. I was arrogant because I knew I was a juvenile. So I thought they were just gonna call my mama and have her come get me. So I'm like, I ain't gotta say shit, you know. That wasn't the case, right? So took me to juvenile. I had a hearing, and man, when they start running off them charges, I was like, oh shit, like this shit's serious. Then when they start talking about, they wanted to certify me as an adult. So they wanted to give me what they call juvenile life. They wanted to keep me in juvenile till I was like, I think it was either 18 or 21, and then send me to prison to do, you know, do my prison time. So I end up getting charged with shooting into an occupied dwelling, unlawful use of a weapon, carrying concealed weapon, robbery, ACA. I had a couple ACAs. I mean, I was fucked up, you know what I mean? And so my partners that were with me, they're older, so they go to county. You know what I'm saying? They get hit with the shit. So my best friend, J-Dub, he ended up getting sentenced to 12 years and behind it. When I tell you that God smiled on me, I end up, because juvenile court worked a little different, at least in Missouri at that time. So it was my first offense. So they take, you know, almost like the feds work on a point system, right? So they kind of worked in terms of what were the variables of the situation. You know, the lawyer I had kind of painted it where it's like, because I was the youngest one, even though it was my idea and I kind of spearheaded it, the lawyer was like, well, he's the youngest. He got caught up with some older guys. He was being influenced, you know. He comes from a single household. He's, you know, he has a father that has a decent job and a stepmother that has a decent job. He does well in school, so let's give him a shot. Let's, you know what I mean? He just made a poor decision. So I end up pleading guilty to, man, I can't even remember, it was so long ago. But I remember I pleaded guilty to some of the shit I didn't do, you know. And I remember my lawyer saying, look, dog, they're gonna let you go home if you say I'm guilty. So I was like, fuck it, all right, I'm guilty, you know what I mean? Because I spent like 6 months in juvenile, and then they took me from my mom, the state took me from my mom, made me go live with my dad, and they put me on house arrest. So that was kind of a thing, because I didn't really grow up with my dad. So I didn't have a relationship like that with him, you know what I mean? So to a large degree, we were kind of like strangers, you know what I'm saying? Not complete strangers, but you know what I mean? We didn't have that father-son thing. We just like two niggas living in the house named Courtney, because I'm named after my father, you know? So, but then I find out I got a baby on the way, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm dealing with that shit, you know what I mean?
And how old are you at this time?
I'm 15, about to turn 16.
Still 15?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So I have a baby, my first child, when I'm 16. So now I'm trying to figure all this shit out. I'm like, okay, I'm living with this man I really don't know. My mom was going through some things too. You know, I'm on house arrest. Then I'm in school. I can't leave. All this shit I'm dealing with all at once, trying to figure all that shit out. You know, then I'm losing homeboys. You know, homeboys getting killed. Homeboys is, you know what I'm saying, going to jail, because now you got crack and you got the crack laws. So you got motherfuckers getting cracked with an ounce of work, half ounce of work, 16ths and 8 balls and shit, getting 20 years, 15 years. So all of this shit I'm trying to modulate in my mind and figure out and navigate. You know, I made it look good. I was just telling somebody the other day, you know, I may have looked, because somebody was praising me like, oh man, you stepped up to the plate when you was young. And I'm like, man, I might have looked poised, but I really, you know, behind closed doors, I was working on trying to be a man, you know what I'm saying? Because I had a lot of shit coming at me at once. But, you know, it worked out. You know, I end up, well, I had gotten to music as well. I was always into music, but I ended up graduating high school at 17. You know, me and my father, we figured that shit out, you know, me living with him. You know, my father's a decent dude. You know, my mother got her act together. And, you know, it worked out, man. You know, I had a lot of people praying for me at that point in my life.
Were you rapping at this time?
Yeah, I was. It got more serious. It started out as a hobby, probably in 89, 90 as a kid. You know, I was influenced by Ice-T, Eazy-E, NWA, you know what I'm saying? Spice One, I grew up on all the West Coast shit, CMW. I grew up on all of that. So I was trying to emulate them, but at that point, it was just a hobby. I didn't really start taking it serious to actually probably about my junior year. Once I kind of got out of all that trouble, I had to start figuring out what I wanted to do. Because initially, I wanted to play ball. Initially, 2 things I wanted to do. I had aspirations of playing basketball because I excelled at sports. So, and then even being in the hood, man, I wanted to be a professional BMXer, a professional freestyler. That was one of my other aspirations, because I was real good on them bikes and shit too. You know, I was in the newspaper one time as a kid, because I was doing tricks, and it was, it wasn't a lot of black kids partaking in that sport. So I kind of excelled at that in basketball. So, but once you get street poison, it's like, your priorities and your affinities start to shift, you know what I mean? And then I have a child. So I start really focusing on the music shit. I hooked up with my partner Cisco. I met him my freshman year. So I say probably about my freshman year, my sophomore year, I really started taking the music serious.
Was Master P your first person you'd look to for music, or?
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't even know who Master P was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy named Romeo, who's a local he was a local rapper at the time, party promoter, and a barber. He was a barber in my hood. He cut hair right on 44th and Mungal at the time. I lived on 42nd and Chestnut. He used to cut my hair as a kid, 10, 11, 12 years old. He used to bring like regional talent to the city, for like club dates and shit like that. I remember him cutting my hair saying, yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna bring Master P and such and such and such. You know, at the time, like the clique, you know, they were still trying to come up. You know, they weren't the clique in the E40 that we come to know them to be. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, they were still local or regional, so to speak. So he would bring people like that to the city. I didn't know who P was, you know what I'm saying? And so we're doing our rap thing. He wasn't even on my radar. And I was a part of the group CCG. We had a member named Dank Nitty who used to sound like Master P. I didn't know that. People would be like, man, that dude sound like Master P. Me and Cisco, like, we don't even know who that is. So finally, I get up on him with Ghetto's trying to kill me. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think nothing of it, you know.
Did you try to get signed with Eazy-E?
I did. Hell yeah.
Was this before that or?
This was before that. This was before that.
Oh, okay.
So I end up sending tapes to a bunch of majors, you know, to Arista, Jive, all of that shit, right? Because you would get the address on the back of the tape and the CD at that time. It would come back unopened with a stamp on it that says, we don't accept unsolicited material. So I didn't know what the fuck that meant, right? I'm in Kansas City. There's no industry there. I have no management and no reference point of the music business. I'm just a motherfucker with a dream, right? So I was like, well, maybe I should try to send it to some smaller companies. I didn't have the verbiage of independent. I didn't know what that was, but they just seemed small, like I could touch them. So I started sending shit to Dog Day Records. I don't know if you remember them. Black Market Records and Sack, who put out Lynch. Sandra Singleton put out X-Rated in them. Rap A Lot, Ruthless, just whoever I felt that I could touch. P is the only one. No Limit, at that time, their office was in San Leandro. They were the only ones that had a voicemail. And so I would call and fill up P's voicemail, but then I would call Ruthless. Ruthless had a number. So I would call Ruthless and bug the shit out this woman named Cassandra Ware. Wherever that woman is today, God bless you, because she used to be so patient with me. You know, I call that motherfucker every day and be like, man, the Eazy get our tape, the Eazy get our tape. And she'd be like, you know, we got it over there. He's out of town right now. She was super sweet, right? So at some point, I say probably around maybe October, maybe December of 90, I want to say 94. Eazy died in 95, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 months or so prior to him dying, she said, Eazy got the tape and he liked your tape. You know, he dug it. So somebody will be calling you. So we sitting around on pins and needles thinking we going to Ruthless. Eazy dies that following March. So we like, fuck. Not to mention, Bone Thugs had come out. We're from Kansas City, Missouri. We had a similar flow, that Midwest chopper flow. Anybody who know the CCG records, the Court Dog records, we rapped fast like that. So we were like, fuck, Eazy died. So all communication ceased with Ruthless. So I just continued, you know, the search. I was still bugging the shit out of Master P because he had the voicemail. You know what I mean? So long story short, eventually them voicemails got on his nerves because he told me those voicemails got on his fucking nerves. He figured as much as I was calling, I had to believe in what the fuck it is I was saying. Because I was like, man, we the hottest in Kansas City. You need to get our tape. I think I sent him 3 or 4, 5 tapes, you know. So he told, I think it was Mr. Servon, to go in the office and go get my tape and listen to it because this motherfucker keep calling. He must be serious. I'm at home. I'm living with my father at the time. True story. I'm sitting on the toilet stool. And so, you know, the phone rings. I'm on the toilet. It rings again. For some reason, something told me to get up and answer it. This is before cell phones. You know, this is the phone in the house and the answer machine. So I get up with my pants and my ankles and waddle to the motherfucking phone, you know what I mean, and answer it. And somebody say, yeah, can I speak to Courtney? It's a voice I hadn't recognized. So I'm like, he ain't home, you know, because my father's named Courtney too. And I was like, he ain't home. Who calling? He was like, man, tell him Master P called. And so I'm like, nah. I said, is this Master P for real? I said, no, this is Courtney. And he started laughing. He said, yeah. He said, man, you dodging somebody or something? You know? And I was like, nah. I was like, man, my dad named Courtney too. I was like, man, this really Master P? He said, yeah, I got your tape. He was like, yeah, what you trying to do? And so that's where it started, you know? And he was like, you know, I have this compilation I'm putting together called Down South Hustlers. He was like, I got 8 Ball, MJG, UGK, you know, at that time, all those guys on one album. And P was known for the compilations at that point because he had West Coast Bad Boys 2, and compilations was a hot thing back then. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right, man. So he was like, I'm gonna be in touch with you. And, you know, I was like, okay, cool. We'll see what comes of it. But at that point, it was like P would call me, like we would talk all the time. Like, it was just like we would talk like we've been knowing each other forever. You know what I mean? And my homeboys used to trip off that shit. They used to be like, damn, like he just called you like that? And I'm like, yeah, you know. So he ended up flying us out to Oakland, and we stayed out there. That's when No Limit was based in the Bay. We ended up doing, like I say, Down South Hustlers. We did the song R.I.P. The thing about it, I signed to P as a duo with CCG, but some shit had happened where like him and my partner didn't really get along. And then we had a manager at the time that didn't get along with P as well. And I wasn't in a space because P offered me to go solo. I wasn't ready, you know, I just wasn't confident like that because I was more the business of our group. You know what I'm saying? I was more kind of like I mean, even though I rapped and I did, you know, I did my parts and I contributed creatively, Cisco was the creative force of CCG. He did all the production. He conceptualized all the songs. So for a large part of that, I followed his lead. So I was more the person that got out and politicked and talked to everybody and got us places and did all that shit. Like management, you know, even though I was an artist. So I declined to go solo with No Limit. So what we did is we ended up going back to Kansas City. I kept a relationship with P. And so, you know, we put out some independent albums. But when Cisco wanted to start doing other things in life, so he kind of went on and did some other stuff. I put out several Court Dogg albums. You know, a lot of them are considered hood classics. Pulling Rank, Thug's Diary, the Kansas City Chief. I've done songs with Busy Bone, Lazy Bone, Brother Lynch Hung, Rich the Factor, Gorilla Black. I mean, I've worked with Spice. I worked with a lot of people as an artist back then. But what P did, he used his influence to, how should I say? Back then you had Southwest and City Hall and, you know what I'm saying, the One Stops and Gonzalez and shit like that, you know, Selecto hits. P used his influence and my leverage with being his homeboy where, you know, them people would pay me up front for whatever CDs I got manufactured. So if I got 50,000 CDs manufactured, you know, they pay me $7 up front, you know what I mean? You know, so here I am in my early 20s, you know, I'm getting $250,000 checks, you know what I mean, from independent releases like it's nothing, you know, and that's basically P telling me, hey man, you know what I'm saying, here, do your thing, you know, but we always kept a relationship.
You weren't on No Limit at this time though? No, I was putting out my own product with my own label, you know, but he facilitated for them to pay me like they did. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start selling a lot, and at this point, Master P must really, probably starting to really take off. He's more nationwide, worldwide now.
Oh yeah, he exploded when Make 'Em Say and I Miss My Homies. You know, at that point, yeah, he's you know, they dropped. Yeah, at this point, No Limit has arrived. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And at what point do you actually sign?
No, I signed before that.
Okay.
I signed in 90. So I signed in 95. The explosion didn't happen till about 98. You see what I'm saying? So about 98, the run was what, 97, 96, I'll say to about 99, to be honest with you. Maybe 2000, you know, because Ice Cream Man came out in 1996. I signed in 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what goes on during that time? You guys go on tour?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. No Limit is doing their thing. I'm doing my own thing aside from No Limit, but I still have the relationship with P. I'm putting out independent records, independent of No Limit. But because of P's influence and what he told them to do for me, I'm getting paid from the independent wholesalers up front for my CDs. You understand?
Right. No, I'm saying now that you're signed, what happens?
I didn't put out a record on No Limit.
Oh, you never put out an album?
I never put out an album with No Limit.
So you signed?
Yep. And we went our separate ways. Professionally.
Okay.
You understand?
Did you guys? So you signed? Never put out no music. And did you leave No Limit, or you were still on No Limit but independently doing it?
No, I left No Limit because, as I said before, P offered for me to go solo because he didn't like my partner. I was a part of a duo. So it was either you can come and go solo, I'm not fucking with him, or you know what I'm saying, you can just go do your thing. I elected to just kind of be loyal to my homeboy and go and do my thing. But me and P still maintained the relationship.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so No Limit went on to do what they did, and then I went on to do what I did. You see what I'm saying? Now, where me and P came back together in terms of business and professional wise was about 2001 when we both moved to LA and we're in the same city. So then that's when we kind of came full circle. But we always had the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
but the album that I did, the gold record that I did get, was from the song that I did on Down South Hustlers, which was a No Limit record.
Okay. So during the time Master P's blowing up, so you're also blowing up independently.
Regionally, yeah.
Regionally.
Yeah, not nowhere near compared to No Limit, but yes, I'm successful. I'm successful.
Okay. And what's that time like for you?
That was a good time. That was a good time, man, because I'm getting money. You know, I still had a foot in the street as well, so I'm getting money there as well. And then because, again, like I said, me and P always still had that relationship. As I spoke before, I'm my only child. So P and Boz, they always kind of served as big brothers. You know what I mean? So I still was emulating the things that he was doing. I was emulating in my own life. So saying this, so I'm 19, even though I have independent records out and I'm getting money through independent distribution and all that, you know, I'm understanding at 19, 20 years old, because I'm mimicking my big brother, I'm understanding diversifying. I'm understanding multiple revenue streams. So what I end up doing is start buying real estate. You know, I bought my first investment property at 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so I started getting into other arenas of business outside of music. Then I moved to LA and started getting into movies and production and different things like that, which I know we'll get into. But so where you have P doing what he's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing parallel to that.
2001 comes, you and Master P link back up. We both
moved to LA, yeah.
You guys are both in LA. And what do you guys start working on?
At that point, he starts he started new No Limit. You know, No Limit, as everybody knew it, had went defunct, and then he goes to he starts new No Limit. You know, so now he's in the second phase of that, and I'm basically at that point, I'm backing up the plays that bro is making. You know what I mean? Whatever he sees fit for us to execute. You know, with the new artists that he was dealing with at that time. You know, you're talking about Currency and Crazy, you know, the 504 Boys and all of that, you know, that was during that period, you know. So at that time, I'm just playing, you know, I'm playing support system. I'm playing the you know, the right-hand man position. Whatever needs to be done, whatever we have to do gets done.
So this is the time No Limit slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
But you guys are still putting out some albums.
Yeah. Okay. New No Limit was moderately successful. Because he had, I believe, Game Face, Good Side, Bad Side, the 504 Boys. There was a few successful projects that came out.
Were you there when Snoop came in?
Yeah, I was in and out when Snoop came in. Yeah.
Did you guys ever go on tour or do anything with Snoop?
They didn't tour. No Limit didn't tour a lot. No Limit didn't tour a lot. If you remember that, I mean, can anybody remember going to, you know what I'm saying? No Limit just wasn't a touring entity like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it would be spot dates and shows like that, but No Limit didn't do a lot of touring.
Okay. So you didn't hang out with Snoop or
Yeah, I was around Snoop. I was around Snoop. You know, like I said, I was in and out. You know what I mean? Like, cause I lived in Kansas City at the time. No Limit was based in Baton Rouge at that time. You know, see what I'm saying? So P went from New Orleans to the Bay Area. Then once No Limit started really taking off, he went back to Louisiana, but he went to Baton Rouge. So at that time, Baton Rouge was No Limit headquarters. I was still in Kansas City. So, you know, I would be in and out. I wasn't living in Baton Rouge or nothing like that.
Okay.
So when Snoop signed with No Limit, he moved to Baton Rouge. P moved him to Baton Rouge and bought him a house and all of that. So Snoop wasn't in LA at that time.
Right. I think I remember seeing that where, where Snoop talks about that, about Master P.
Yeah.
Got him everything and everything.
Yep.
Okay. What was it like doing a movie with Katt Williams?
So when I moved out here in 01, 02, P came out here to LA as well. So we both kind of had aspirations to really get more of a footprint in Hollywood, you know what I mean? So, of course, me coming from the No Limit understanding, I end up financing. Well, when I moved to LA, I started auditioning for a lot of movies. I did a bunch of independent movies. You know, I for whatever reason, they would cast me all the time, right? And at this time, I'm kind of starting to, you know, I was done with music at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I had been doing music for so long. I had some success, you know, regionally. I made a lot of money, but I was just ready to do something different. So once I started auditioning for movies and doing movies and stuff like that, I said, well, man, let me try to throw my hat in the ring in producing a movie, because I had the money to do so. So I ended up I spent like $350,000 of my own money. Katt Williams was a good friend of mine at the time. And so he supported me in it. You know what I mean? I starred in the movie. It's called Young American Gangsters. I starred in it. Katt co-starred in it. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs co-starred in it. I had Mopreem Shakur, Tupac's brother. He co-starred in it with me. And you know, that was a great moment, man. I was fresh out here in LA. You know, we shot in Compton. We shot in, you know, all over LA. And that was a big move for me. And I ended up getting distribution for that movie over in Cannes at the Cannes Film Festival in France. So I ended up flying over there and get distribution for it.
Okay. And this is before Katt Williams was Katt Williams, right?
No, he was Katt Williams.
He was already Katt Williams.
He was already Katt Williams, because Friday After Next was already out. He was on tour and all of that. Yeah. So no, he was Katt Williams at that time.
Okay. And you guys were friends? How'd you guys meet?
Yeah. It's funny, we met in Kansas City, you know, because he was doing a show in Kansas City, and later on I found out he just knew who I was, because what he said in every city you have a nigga that's the nigga, you know what I mean? And again, I already had local celebrity or whatever you would say. This was like 01. This was right before I moved out to LA, and we met just, you know, by chance, and we just clicked. You know, he was like, man, I know who you are, because he called me the Kansas City Chief, which is the album I had out at the time. And he was like, man, I know who you are, you know. And so I remember taking him to play basketball in Kansas City. So I told him, I said, he lived in LA at the time. And I said, well, man, you know, I'm about to move out there. Like, I'm securing my spot and all of that. And so I say probably 6 months, you know, or so later, I end up moving to LA. And I actually end up moving around the corner from him. Just by chance. He lived in Brentwood, right on Bundy, like a block down from where the shit with OJ happened. And I end up moving to Brentwood, right on Sunset and Barrington and San Vicente. And we was literally minutes within each other. So we started kicking it every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, Katt, as I said, he was what I would consider a brother and a dear friend at a time. There were a few years that went by that we hadn't spoke. This was, if you remember that period where Katt was really getting into shit, he was going to jail seemed like every week.
5, 6 years, 7 years ago or something?
Yeah, it was probably longer than that. It was a period, like, no, this was probably 07, 08, 09, where he just stayed in trouble. It was case after case after case after case. So I'm saying that to say, he was going through what he was going through, so he was very distant from everybody. Like, you know, he just wasn't, you know, in his right mind. So we didn't speak for a period. Around 2000, this was 2013, 2014, we reconnected through a mutual friend. And so this is a crazy story. This is my Charlie Murphy True Hollywood story. It really happened. And this, I can speak on it because it's public record. But so he hits me, he tells me, hey man, you know, he got my number from a mutual friend. He calls me. He's like, man, what you doing? Like, man, I'm in Malibu. I got a new house in Malibu. You need to come see the house. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'll come through and fuck with you, right? Now, I can't say, P told me, I bullshit you not. This nigga P told me to leave Katt alone. P was like, man, leave that dude alone. Like, dude ain't right. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Katt a good dude, but he going through something. Leave him alone. I was like, nah, that's my partner. You know what I mean? Because I'm rooting for him. Because Katt, you know, now I'm going to tell the story and I'm going to say that. But at the end of the day, Katt is a good dude. He really is. You know, what transpired charged to his mind and not his heart. So I end up going over to his house in Malibu. I get there, it's him, it's 3 bitches, and this fat comedian over there who I ain't even gonna name his name, right? And so, you know, we hadn't seen each other in some years. So, you know, we give it again. As I told you, I was court dog. So last he seen me, I had long hair and I was skinnier, you know what I mean? So now he's introduced to big court. I done cut my hair, I'm buff, you know, I'm different, I'm grown now, you know what I mean? So we you know, we glad to see each other, we catching up, but you know, I noticed he was saying little slick shit, you know, but that's just how he is. He's a comedian, you know, but you know how sometimes people can say little slick, funny shit, but they trying to get their shit off in the jokes. So at some point I started feeling like that, but I'm still like, this is my man, I ain't tripping. So, so me and Katt, well, let me say this part. So I was sitting there on the couch and I tell Katt, I'm like, man, I got a sweet tooth. You got something, you know, sweet. He literally has one of his little chicks go bake some fresh cookies, and she brought me some cookies and some grapes. Like, Katt runs his shit like a pimp. Like, it's like he got a harem, you know, true, you know, real talk. And so, and he keeps them in check. They can't look you in the eye. They can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's some crazy shit. And so, I don't know, the energy was a little weird. I know Katt very well, so I don't know if it was he felt inferior, because I know he does have the little man complex. So anyway, we both like guns. When I came in, he had a gold Desert Eagle, like at the entryway on the table, like a decorative piece, but it was a real gun, you know, it was a 50 caliber. So I have a 44 Desert Eagle. So me and him always had guns together and fuck with guns together. That's just one of the things we did. So I said, man, why don't you let me get that gold Desert Eagle you got out there? He was like, well, I'll play you for it. Katt is an avid basketball player. He can't play worth the fuck, but he like to play, you know, but he think he can play. And so I was like, man, I ain't trying to play you on no basketball. Like, you can't fuck with me. And he's making the muscle jokes like, man, you too buff. I know you can't play. Woo, woo, woo. I was like, my nigga, like, I wanted to be a basketball player. I do this, you know what I'm saying? So the energy got weird, you know, and so he left for about 30 minutes and then came back and he had put on a Kango and put on a jersey and some other shit, like he was ready. Now, mind you, it's like 11 o'clock at night, you know what I mean? He had a cul-de-sac in Malibu. So the energy was just weird, bro. So I play it off. I'm like, man, no, what it was, I had a gun on me. I went to go put the gun in the car. And when I came back in, this is what had me fucked up. When I walked back in, he says to me, nigga, you should have knocked before you got to knock before you walk in. So I'm like, I just walked out. Fuck, I got to knock for? Like, nigga, you know I'm here. What are you talking about? I went to the car. But he was dead serious. So I was like, okay, this is why I ain't talked to this motherfucker in so many times. You know, this is why. So I said, well, man, I'm gonna run back to the car again. I was just gonna leave because it was just weird. It was just weird energy. So he follows me outside and he's bouncing the basketball. he has a basketball goal, you know, in front of his house in the cul-de-sac. So we start shooting around, okay? So now he says, hey man, you know, let's play 2-11, you know, for the gun. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? It's easy work. I mean, Katt 5'4", you know what I mean? I'm 6'3". I was a basketball player. So he really playing. He really out here hustling and shit. You know what I'm saying? He really trying to win this fucking game. So I remember, so now we going at each other, right? You know, we bagging on each other. But I noticed that he would be ranting about Nick Cannon and Kevin Hart a lot. This is when he was really on their ass. And he's just, yeah, you know, the bitch ass niggas, you just like them and all, you know, and all this old crazy shit. So I'm on him. I'm like, dog, you so little. If you walk between my legs, somebody think you was my dick. Like I'm on him, right? But he not used to that. He not used to a motherfucker going word for word with him. So I noticed that he went and told one of his little bitches, he went and whispered something to her, she run in the house. So I kind of laughed and said, oh, you telling her to call reinforcements? You need some help? You know, and so I'm not thinking nothing. Now at this time, he's managed by Suge. Suge is managing him during this period. And so, so we end up playing the game. I win. I mean, of course, fuck else is gonna happen, right? I mean, you know, so as soon as I win, this dude just snaps. He just snaps. Like I go to shake his hand and tell him good game. And I was gonna tell him, I don't want your little raggedy ass gun, you keep it. You know what I'm saying? He just, man, fuck you, nigga. Like, and he starts running from me. Like he thought I was gonna do something to him. So I'm like, boy, what's wrong with you? Like, nah, nigga, like he just starts spazzing out. So I'm looking at everybody else like, is he serious? And the fat comedian dude, he's just looking at me like, you know, he kissing ass. He over there trying to get a job. So he's looking at me like, basically, you should have let this nigga win this game. I'm like, fuck this nigga. He grown. He shouldn't have got his ass out there. You know what I mean? And so his security, he had like I don't know if she was a woman or a man. He had a funny looking security that was like androgynous as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was to this day. But she's looking at me like, everybody's looking at me like I'm wrong. Like, you should have let him win. You shouldn't be talking back. I'm a real nigga. I don't understand all that. So I'm like, dog, this shit too crazy. I'm out of here. So I hop in my car. At that time, I was in a brand new Tahoe. So whatever year this was, this might have been 2014, 15. I was in a brand new of that year. So I hit the corner. Anybody who knows Malibu, I was on Canaan. I hit Canaan. It's hella dark and windy. That's where Kevin Hart, I think, had his wreck at. And so I see a Bentley parked on the right side. The Bentley has the dome light off and the door open. And it's about 2 blocks up. So I'm like, damn, that shit look funny. You know, just my spirit wasn't right with it. And so I creep by. So I roll my window down, you know, just in case I got to get off. I'm like, okay, I ain't got to shoot my window out. So I roll my window down and I go by and I see somebody in there, but I can't see what they doing. So nothing happens. So I ride. Man, I say I get about 5 minutes up Canaan. I see headlights coming in my rear view just fast as hell, just kicking ass, right? So I roll my windows down real quick because I'm thinking, shit, I don't know what about to happen. I'm thinking they're gonna pull on side of me on some bullshit. Motherfucker hit the back of my car. You know what I mean? Just ran straight into the back of me. Boom! Man, my seat went down. You know, the fucking poof of smoke came up. The airbag didn't deploy, and then the damn, what you call it, OnStar shit start talking to me. I didn't even know I had OnStar, right? So they start saying, man, are you okay? You know, so my first instinct was to flee because I just didn't know what was going on. Even though I had the thing on me, I had an FN, so I had 20 shots, but it was so desolate, you know what I mean? And I just didn't know what was what. So my first thing was to get up out of there. So I hit the gas, car act like it didn't want to go, but it ends up going. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm driving and it's windy as shit on Canaan. Another car, a white, I think it was, well, I ain't gonna say what it was, but it was another car. It comes up and it had 2 dudes in it, and they trying to get on side of me, right? And at this point, I'm like, we on this windy Canaan, you know, windy ass highway, and they trying to get on side of me. So they kind of get on side of me, so I had to, you know, boop, 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 get them up off of me. So then they fall back, and these motherfuckers come back, and then they come on this side. Then I got to get them off of me, boop, 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 get them up off of me, right? So again, I got to F in, so I know I got 20. So I end up speeding through the fucking, windy ass Canaan. The OnStar tells me the police are, help is on the other side. Cause if you know Canaan, it's nothing there. It's desolate. Then you come out on the other side of it to the 101. So, anyway, they were telling me that the police were gonna be waiting on me when I came out. So I'm like, shit, but not for that. They don't know about that. They don't know what's going on with that. They just know with the car wreck. So I told them, I said, okay, I said, I'm gonna stop, you know what I mean? Once I get out on the other side. So I stopped once I seen all the lights, I stopped, I dumped the thing, and then I went and I seen where the police was parked, and I pulled over. And so they was like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. I said, somebody hit me in the back. I was like, shit, I didn't feel comfortable. So, you know what I mean? I stopped now. And so they looking at the car, so they like, shit. It was like, if you wasn't built like how you built, seemed like you would have been hurt. All this shit was hurt because the car ended up being totaled. Because the frame was so fucked up because he hit me so hard. So anyway, I end up, they gave me a little thing for the accident. And then what comes over the radio is that they found a car that hit me. You know, another unit found a car that hit me. And so they was like, well, here, man, you know, we'll call you or whatever the case may be. So I'm knowing it's some bullshit. So I'm calling Katt, I'm calling him, he ain't answering. So I'm like, okay. So I get home, you know, I called P, actually. He came over the next day, and he just couldn't believe it. He was like, man, he was like, what'd you do to the nigga? I was like, I didn't do nothing. The story happened exactly how it happened. And so long story short, Katt never answered his phone. I say about 2 weeks later, the sheriffs called me, and they was like, so listen, they was like, you said you was hit by a Bentley, because I thought the Bentley hit me. I never seen what hit me. And I was like, I think so. They was like, nah. They was like, but you said you was playing basketball with your friend, right, Micah? I said, yeah. And they was like, did he have an Escalade parked over there? And then when they said that, I was like, damn, he sure do. But I'm not finna tell them that. So I was like, nah, I don't think so. I was like, not that I can recall. And so the police was like, well, man, you know, he was like, listen, I don't know what y'all got going on. He was like, but you didn't get hit by the Bentley. He said, you got hit by that Escalade. He was like, you know, and he said, Micah, Katt, he said that you stopped short and he ran into the back of you. Now, mind you, it's like midnight. There's nobody on the street. There's not a stop sign. There's no reason for me to stop. But the police dude was like, man, we know obviously it's something going on with y'all, and it looked like he hit you on purpose, but nobody else was there to witness it, so it ain't shit we could do. I was like, well, nah, ain't nothing going on with us. I said, I didn't know it was him. I said, maybe it was an accident. I didn't know, we didn't talk about it, because I ain't finna talk to no police about nothing anyway. And then, you know, this is something we could solve amongst ourselves, you know what I mean? So I don't talk to the police, period, about shit anyway. But so long story short, you know, I end up finding out what happened. And what it was is, you know, Katt was having one of his moments, you know what I'm saying? He got mad over the basketball game. He, you know, spazzed out. I guess he was supposed to bump my car. And whoever the mother cats was that was in the car was supposed to, I guess I was supposed to pull over, and the mother cats was supposed to try to pack me out or whatever the case may be, but it didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, thank God that it happened like it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because if it had went like that, then I probably just would end up killing them niggas and be fighting the case. You know what I'm saying? So it happened how it was supposed to happen. But he ended up, from what I hear, getting into some shit with them over the situation because they didn't think it was gonna be that. So they like, dude, we almost lost our life. You know what I'm saying? Give us some money, you know, and I don't know what happened with it. But, you know, that was a situation, man. Listen, I attribute a lot of that to a level of mental illness. You know, I don't want to say that like that, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Katt, you know, he was going through whatever he was going through because this was a close friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? So as the years went on, you know, I let it go. You know what I'm saying? And we talked one time. Oddly enough, we talked on IG Live. Yeah, he was on an IG Live and I happened to tap into it and he brought me on. And if anybody watching remembers it, because we were talking somewhat cryptic, you know, because he was like, yeah, he was like, I was like, what's up with you, bruh? I was like, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. I was like, you know, we need to talk. You know, we need to, you know, get some shit squared away. He was like, he say, yeah, he said, I avoid you. I said, no, I know you do. I said, but you don't have to. I said, you know, I don't mean you no harm. If I meant you harm, it would have happened already. You know what I'm saying? I said, but, you know, you need to get with me. You know what I'm saying? And he said, what was I when you first met me? And I said, shit, you was cool. You was a comedian doing your thing. I said, what was I when you first met me? He said, shit, you was a gangster. I said, yeah. I said, well, it's still the same. I said, but you know, it's nothing that a conversation can't fix. So yeah, I mean, there was a period where I was trying to press him right after it happened. You know, I had told him that, you know, I told his people, man, you know, run me $100 grand or, you know, certain cities, Kansas City, you know, New Orleans, certain cities was a no-fly zone. You know, he wasn't gonna be able to get no money there. You know, they didn't run me the money. So, funny story, and Katt doesn't know this. And again, I want to reiterate, this was some years back. Time has passed. You know, time heals all wounds. So, you know, I got nothing but love for Katt because he was my brother. And and like I said, he was down with me for the movie shit. You know what I'm saying? He supported me. You know, he was Katt Williams at the time. You know, so he actually showed up for me. So I'm always gracious to that. But at this time, you know, he came to Kansas City. Now, I'm still living in LA, but I have influence in Kansas City, you know, and this is a true story, right hand to God. He came to Kansas City, so I was like, oh, okay, he think it's a game. I said, okay. Now, I never had any intentions to obviously do nothing that detrimental to him, because I still kind of had love for him, you know. It's almost like I took the situation almost like two brothers just having a real bad falling out, you know what I mean? But you know, shit, you disrespecting now, you violating, you where I told you couldn't go, and then you gonna think you can play with me? Okay. So he went to Kansas City. I'm still living in LA, and true story, I could say names, but I'm not, because one of the people are deceased now, but he had the little comedy show, and he probably a trip if he hears this, but so when he left the show, I had my guys, they was on his bus, his little bus, his shuttle that was gonna take him to the hotel. I told him, I said, send him a message, you know, just let him know that it's not cool. You know, don't kill nobody, but just, you know, just rattle the situation a little bit, you know, make sure y'all go high, cause they on the bus. I say, so I have two cars. Now I'm in LA, you know, there's two cars following him. He don't know. One is watching, an eyeball. Then I have the other people, you know what I'm saying, that's going to do the demo. I get a call on my other phone, and it's a female friend of mine who's like, hey, she's whispering. She's like, I'm on the bus with Katt Williams right now. Now, she's from Kansas City, but she lived in LA at the time. I didn't even know she was in Kansas City, let alone did I know she was on the bus. The irony of this situation is she's on the bus telling me that she's with Katt. Now, she called herself just giving me the end, you know, like, hey, I know you looking for this motherfucker. I'm with him, you know. The story's so fucking crazy. The motherfuckers that I had in the other car, that was her son.
What the fuck?
I can't make this up, right hand to God. So her son was about to demo on the bus that his mother's on. He don't even know she's on the bus. I didn't even know she was on the bus. So I call him like, dog, you are not gonna believe this. Your mama is on the fucking bus. He's like, what the fuck is she doing on the bus? What the fuck is she even doing here? He didn't even know she was there because he was waiting kind of off in the cut. You know what I mean? And so that's when I realized, I said, you know what? Let me let this shit go. You know what I mean? Let me let this shit go. It's not even that serious. You know what I'm saying? And that was God. Because even though I hadn't, you know, I didn't want anybody to get hurt. I just wanted them to scare them. You know what I'm saying? But even in that, you have to realize, shit, it could go another way. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker could have wrecked. Anything could have happened, right? So, you know, that was nothing but God that intervened in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I completely let it go. I was like, you know what? I ain't even mad at this dude no more. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't doing nothing but really trying. That was my ego, you know, because I felt like he tried to play with me and get his little shit off, and I had to get my lick back, and that was the way I could get my lick back. You know what I'm saying? And it could have, and God intervened like, hey, that ain't the move. You know what I'm saying? So that's a true story. You know what I mean? And you know, so I let it go at that point. You know what I'm saying? And I sent a message to Katt, you know, through mutual people that, hey man, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad about shit. When we see each other and we chop it up, it's all good. It's all love, you know.
That's pretty wild.
It is. Yeah, I'll never forget that one. I'll never forget that story.
Damn. What happened? Would you know anything what happened with him? Why did he, man, he just started getting into shit.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he was killing it. Like he was just like shows and movies, and then it was just like arrest, arrest, arrest. Then I remember I seen a video of him getting beat up by like some kid. You know anything like?
Well, this is what I can say about Katt, because I know Katt well. You know what I mean? I consider Katt a brother. You know what I mean? Katt is one of the most brilliant, well-read motherfuckers you ever want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I'm a motherfucker that had a problem with Katt, but the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? We all have our issues. You know, I think Katt was dealing with, you know, some type of mental breakdown. I heard, so I don't want to, you know, be irresponsible, but through people, mutual people that we know, I heard that he, you know, was diagnosed with being bipolar, but he doesn't take the medication. You know what I'm saying? So I think at times he becomes manic when he gets into these incidents. And I've watched and witnessed him myself not sleep for days. You know what I'm saying? And he's just, now when people talk about drugs, I never seen Katt on drugs. I can't charge him with that. At a time, not when I was around. At a time, I spent a lot of time with Katt. His kids used to call me Uncle Court. You know what I mean? I never seen that man take drugs in my life. So, you know, I keep it 100. I can charge him with the bullshit he do, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, what he ain't do, I ain't gonna charge him with, you know what I'm saying? So, but Katt is a good dude. I watched him give his jewelry off his neck to people, to strangers. I watched him give wads of money to people. I watched him take jewelry off his fingers and give them to homeless people. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about real diamonds, real jewelry. I watched him give cars to people that he didn't know. You know what I mean? Literally, I remember one time he had a little two-seater BMW, the little ugly ones. I don't know what they was called, the X whatever, the little ugly shit. I don't even know why they made it. But he had one, and we was somewhere. I can't remember. We was at a function or something, but it was this chick that was just talking. She just happened to be just, you know, congregating, talking, and she was talking about how she needed to get a car. But she wasn't saying it in the sense of begging or, you know, but just conversation. Katt gave her the title and the keys. Said, that's yours. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about it. That's yours. And nobody could believe it. He was like, no, take it. I don't need it. I got money. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you need it more than me, so take it. So he's that kind of dude, too. So I wanna, you know, yeah, he did the fuck shit with me, and we had our moment, but he's that dude as well. You know what I'm saying?
From the outside looking in, it looks like he's on drugs. But if he has something else going on, then that could be why it looks like
For sure.
he's on drugs to everybody.
I
you
didn't
know.
think he was on drugs. I mean, fuck, I question it too. I never seen him do drugs, but that ain't to say that he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So again, I can only speak on what I saw and what I know him to do. I never seen it. It doesn't mean that he wasn't. I'm just saying what I saw.
Why would he be up for days?
Manic. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he was wired on some shit. I don't know. He would be up for days. But that's where that manic shit comes from. You know what I'm saying?
Was he always the way he, like, so you knew him before he kind of went off.
I met Katt. You mean
was he like before he had them years?
Nah,
what was he like before that?
You know what? I'm glad. It's funny you say that. I seen little remnants of it. You know, like it intensified as, I don't know if maybe the stress of celebrity and just all of that played into effect because I seen traces of it. But I just thought that he was acting like a bitch. Because I would say it. He would do little things and say little things and be temperamental. It was like literally on Monday, he'll be up your ass and, oh man, where you been, bro? You ain't fucking with me, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday, the fuck you doing here? You know what I'm saying? He act like he don't know you. He act like, why are you here? Motherfucker, you called me over here. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I seen little traces of it, but as time progressed, you know, obviously it snowballed and it got worse, you know. But like I said, through some mutual people that we know, that I was told that he just was diagnosed as bipolar and just don't take his medicine. Now, I don't know if he has a hand on it now, but like I said, man, that dude is one of the most, you know, articulate, intelligent motherfuckers. He's very insightful, very smart, you know. And Katt's a little dude, but you know, shit, that motherfucker, he'll go. You know what I mean? He ain't no bitch, you know. So that's why I knew, you know, like I said, that was my partner, man. You know what I'm saying? We had our little thing. It was what it was. It ain't nothing.
Okay, cool. For sure. Did you ever meet Suge Knight?
Suge, I did, man. You know, oddly enough, man, you know, Suge was one of the people I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? People can say what they want about Suge. You know, I always had a respect and an affinity for him. I obviously I didn't know him personally, but me and Suge shared the same space several times. He used to go to the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel all the time on Sunset. I used to go there all the time. I would see Suge there a few times a week. It got to the point to where we would, you know, kind of, you know, just speak to each other and just, man, what's up with you? That type of shit. He was always cool, always pleasant.
Did he know you were with No Limit?
Yeah.
Did you have the chain and everything?
Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. That's what I'm saying. I think Suge, in my opinion, you know, listen, none of us are perfect. I'm not making excuses for Suge. None of us are perfect. You know, Suge was young. You know, you think about it, man. You 20, you know, late 20s, early 30s, and you worth $200 million, $300 million. You have access to do whatever it is you want to do. You know, that's a young, dumb motherfucker trying to find his way. He has no reference point of having that type of money and influence. I'm not making excuses, but I'm saying, you know, we all fall short. We all get sucked into bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that I believe that Suge, you know, he would do that shit with who he felt like he could do it with. You know, I mean, like any other type motherfucker in the hood or bully. You know, if they smell pussy on you, then they gon' try to tip you. They gon' try to press you. If you ain't that dude and you don't carry it like that or you don't show no fear, then they probably gonna leave you alone, you know. So with me, it was never that. He was always pleasant, always cool. It was one time that me and P, it was just me and P, and we were meeting Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka. Well, actually we were meeting Gucci Mane because during this period, P was managing Gucci. And we had met them at Philippe Chow's in Beverly Hills. This was Manny's spot. I believe he had owned it at that time. And it was just me and P. We walk in. I guess Waka may have invited Suge, and we didn't know he was coming, you know. And when he walked in, I think he had some of the OFTB guys with him. And he was cool, pleasant, respectful. You know what I'm saying? It was, people in the restaurant start getting up leaving. You know what I mean? But he was regular, even with P. it was, hey, what's up, big dog? You know what I'm saying? It was all respectful. Now, you know, during the whole Snoop thing, when Snoop came to No Limit, it was a little bit of friction. But you know, you can't play with us like that. You know what I'm saying? Suge did send some niggas to try to get at Snoop. You know, the No Limit niggas held it down and basically got the drop on the Death Row niggas.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
And so P, you know, calls him and tells, you know, Suge, like, quit playing. You know what I'm saying? You keep playing, I'm gonna send him back to you in a body bag. And so Suge did call P one time and told him, like, when we first got out to LA, like, you know, I don't think LA big enough for both of us. You know what I'm saying? And P told him, well, shit, I just bought a house, when you leaving? You know what I'm saying? And hung up the phone. But, you know, there was never no issues with Suge. You know what I'm saying? Every time I seen him, I would see him in traffic a few times and we would kind of chop it up. Always pleasant, you know what I mean? I
interviewed Reggie Wright Jr.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about a story where they kind of jumped Snoop, but it was like he was invited to I forget what it was, a music video or something, on set of something. Yeah. And then they came and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that situation. It was I wasn't there, but again, it's still my crew, so I know. I'm getting the calls, I know what's going on. It was P had invited Reg and the Death Row people to come and it was at the No Limit All-Star Comedy thing at the amphitheater. And so, yeah, you know, it was some goofy shit, you know what I'm saying? Niggas felt some kind of way and took off on Snoop, and they ended up running into the police station next door, him and Daz. They had the weed on them and some dumb shit. Yeah, that was some goofy shit. But, you know, again, man, when you look back on these things, everybody, you got to figure I'm the youngest, you know, I'm younger than all of them, you know, but everybody was kids at that time, you know what I'm saying? Because when you look back on, you know, I love to watch Bone Thugs and Dogg Pound do shows together. Twister and Bone do shows together. 3 6 Mafia and Crazy Bone, you know, and Bone Thugs do shit together because everybody realized, fuck, we was kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, when Eazy died, Snoop and Corrupt and them said out their mouth, they cried. They cried when Eazy died. You know what I'm saying? Because it really wasn't that. You know, you talking about kids, money, rap, and all that shit, but at the end of the day, in real life, motherfuckers ain't really, you know what I mean, on nothing.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know Daz and Corrupt said that. That's crazy.
They did.
Okay. There was a clip that was sent to me where it looks like you got in a fight defending Romeo or something like that on TV show.
You talking about the growing up hip hop thing?
Yeah.
That was that was a few years ago. That was a unfortunate situation, you know what I'm saying? To this day, I really don't know what that was about. You know what I mean? I don't even know if it was supposed to escalate like that. But I just remember if you watch that scene of Growing Up Hip Hop, if you watch that show, you know, I'm off in the cut minding my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking they're just filming, doing their regular, you know what I'm saying, reality TV show shit. I didn't realize that it was actually serious. I thought it was just, you know, bullshit. And so once I start seeing the body language change a little bit, you know, and I got up over there and I seen Lil One, you know, he kind of was getting amped up. I was like, oh shit, let me go over here and see what the fuck going on, you know. I don't know what precipitated that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? All I know is once Lil One took off on dude, but this the thing, the edit didn't really give it, you know, it didn't paint the whole picture. You know, because basically they you know, they cut down a, you know, 2, 3, 4 minute brawl into, you know, 6, 7 seconds. The dude that got hit, you know, he had some guys with him, you know what I mean? So, you know, they didn't show them getting whooped. They didn't show it spilling out into the street. It just looked like, you know, I was whooping on him or we was whooping on one dude. That was just all in the edit. It was cameras all over. But that's what P was fighting against with that show. If you remember, that's why they quit the show, is because they like to try to paint their own narrative. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's not the truth, but it's whatever's gonna sell, whatever is gonna keep people. And I get the entertainment aspect of it, but you don't want to just start fucking lying, you know what I mean? So that fight was cut up to where it didn't show, you know. But you know, listen, the funny thing about that, man, is, you know, after we did that, we got down. I still got the scars on my hand. We spill out into the street. We get on the limo bus. I got a gun on me, you know what I'm saying? Other people had weapons on them. The police get on the bus, you know, and they like, man, you know, so who's fighting? Anybody beat up? Anybody bleeding? I had blood coming down my hand, you know, so we all put our hands up. I got blood coming down the back of my hand. And we like, nah, but before that, I don't know if I should say it. Well, she didn't do anything wrong, but at the time, Paloma Ford, the model, singer, excuse me, she was with us down there. And Paloma was down, man, you know, because we had them guns and we was hiding the guns in the food. We had to-go boxes, you know what I'm saying? And she had put the guns in the to-go boxes and covered it with food and shit, you know what I mean? Because we was trying to, because we knew it was all bad, because we fucked up, man. We tore that whole place up at Oceanas. We caused probably, I think it was like $10,000 worth of damage or some shit like that, you know? But hey, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we still no limit soldiers, you know what I mean? So, you know, we've grown. You know, I don't want to perpetuate that. I don't want to, you know, promote that, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? We come in peace. We ain't ever trying to be tough or start nothing with nobody, but, you know, when it's time to stand up, we gonna stand up. And that's what that situation was. It wasn't, you know, it was a personal situation that basically escalated, you know what I'm saying? And it just got caught on camera. Because there's been plenty of motherfuckers got whooped, it just wasn't on camera, you know what I mean? So.
Okay. You have some businesses with Master P.
Yes.
Can you talk about those?
Yeah. So, you know, P has always encouraged us, you know, the team, to build business, you know, be independent, build different businesses, have different revenue streams. That's the thing about it, man. You have a good coach, a good leader, you know what I mean? You know, P's always been a dude that want everybody to win, you know? He always say, you know, I don't have to give you fish, I can teach you how to fish, you know? And, you know, we learn how to move with purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like we always say, we ain't paper chasers, we purpose chasers, you know? So we travel a lot. And so, you know, when we go places, people would always ask me what I take. The first thing they say is, man, you buff, what you take, you know? And I would run down a list of shit. And one day P was like, man, you need to be telling these people you take something that you own. And I was like, shit, I never thought about that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, you sure right. And so that's where I created True Muscle Sports, you know? And so with that, you know, P backed me up on that. And we created the pre-workout, the fat burner, and the protein shake. You know what I mean? So that was my first introduction into getting into products and healthy products like that. You know, so that's one business that we have. And then the other business that we have, everybody knows about, you know, P and his products. He's got the Master P, you know, the wrap noodles, wrap snacks, rice, you know, all of that. Because, you know, this is the thing, man. It's about evolution and evolving. You know what I mean? You know, if you don't evolve, you dissolve. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to learn how to reinvent yourself. You know what I'm saying? And pivot in life. You can't just, you got a lot of these old guys that had their moment in music. They had their moment and they still trying to hang on to it. But, you know, at some point you got to know when to pivot. And so, you know, P took a page out of Reginald Lewis's, if, you know, nobody read the book, it's why, I think it's called Why Should All the White Guys Have All the Fun? You know what I mean? Basically, it's about building wealth, you know? So, you know, P basically segued himself into, you know, that business of product and owning grocery stores and product. Kind of like how you have, what is it, like Campbell's, you know what I mean? And Kellogg's, like these are billion-dollar companies. Billion-dollar companies, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we created for myself a healthy protein bite, brownie protein, actually healthy snacks. We have a whole line of them. So how you got rap snacks, rap noodles, and all that shit. Now we got the healthy, you know, protein bites. Because, you know, motherfuckers always going to hate and try to look for a problem and talk shit. So people would be like, oh, what about the sodium? What about this? What, do you have healthy shit? And he's like, motherfucker, you've been eating ramen noodles your whole fucking life and ain't worried about sodium. Now all of a sudden, because it's a black man that owns some shit, you want to talk about sodium. You don't even know what the fuck sodium mean or what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just heard that shit or seen it on a meme somewhere. So, but in response to that, yeah, we do want to, you know, usher in healthy living and shit like that. So that's what we have created together, which will launch probably here in a few months. You know what I mean? So be looking for that.
You got a podcast too.
The podcast came about because me, Master P, and Jay Tweezy, we had like a TV show at Playboy Radio. It was like a TV show, radio show called Doing the Most. So that's when I first got exposed to doing, you know, quote unquote radio or whatever. And Jay Tweezy, who was a big program director down south, and he's a No Limit soldier as well. You know, he used to tell me like, Court, you good at this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, really? You know what I mean? And P would say often, he says all the time, he'd be like, man, people be so intimidated by you. And they always so afraid and they think you so serious. People don't know how funny you are. You know what I mean? Because really I am. You know, behind closed doors, you know, I'm a cool, laid back dude. But people, you know, they get off, you know, the stature can be off-putting to people. And so, I would do lives and shit on social media and, you know, try to give people inspiration and different things like that. And people would hang on to every word I said. So I was like, well, shit. You know, and so P was like, man, you know, you should do a podcast. And so I ended up creating it, the Holding Court podcast with me and my partner, producer Ken. Ken he's from Sacramento, you know what I'm saying? We've been partners like 20 years. We produce some other projects together. He's deep in Hollywood. He's done some shit, you know, Real Housewives of Orange County. He's done he's done shit with Capcom, Warner Brothers, all kind of big shit. So me and him, you know, we put together the Holding Court podcast, and man, I enjoy it. Like I thoroughly enjoy it. That's why I tell motherfuckers, man, find out something that you love. Everything that I've excelled at has been shit that I enjoyed. You know what I mean? Anytime I did shit just chasing money, I failed at it. Except in the streets, because chasing money, you know, in the streets, that's all it is. But you know, so far, man, we've had Jay Prince, you know, we had Master P, Silk the Shocker, Sticky Fingers, Jasmine Lewis, shit, Flesh and Bone, you name it. I mean, it's been Gary G. Thang Johnson, so many people. We got Ice-T.
This is already recorded?
Yeah. I'm sitting on like 20 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I film like that. I film, you know, really quick. Just yesterday we had Indy Remy, the comedian. She goes viral a lot on IG. We had Battle Katt, you know what I'm saying? DJ Battle Katt came through yesterday. You know, Mike Dorsey, who produced Murder Rap documentary. And
is that the clips that are on Vlad right now?
Yep.
Okay, so him and what's the other dude's name?
Yes, Greg Kading.
Greg Kading's are linked together.
Yep. Yeah, so basically what Mike Dorsey did is he took Greg Kading's Murder Rap, the book, and made it into a docuseries. And then they did the scripted, he produced, what was it called? Unsolved. That was on USA, and it's on Netflix now.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had him come through yesterday. So man, you know, we built it up. Right now, working on Taraji. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we done built up the platform to where, you know, and I think it's the type of content that I have. I had Chico Brown. That was our first one. You know, Chico Brown was Freeway Ricky Ross's co-defendant. You know what I'm saying? In the whole CIA scandal. And you know, Snowfall, the TV show Snowfall, is based off Freeway Ricky Ross and Chico Brown. So I had Chico Brown come do the show. You know, shout out to the homie Chico, you know, Compton. Had Melly Mel, you know what I'm saying, from Santana. He does a lot of the stuff with Kev Mack, with Kev Mack videos. So, you know, I've created the platform to where, you know, people want to come through. And it's the content, bro, like you and I was discussing, man. You know, my whole thing is I want to represent for the niggas in the hood, and I want to represent for the evolution of the street dude, you know what I'm saying? you know, to be able to demonstrate the duality. You know, I can operate in the streets and I can operate in the boardroom. You know what I'm saying? And I think just, you know, showing that you can educate yourself. It's okay to, you know, change and evolve and take some of those qualities that you learned in the streets or from hustling and then parlay that into a business, into having a successful life. You know what I mean? Especially, we got to do that with all the youngsters and shit, the rappers. You know, you got to get you a OG. Fuck IG. Get you an OG. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, you have to be able to, you know, show them something different and demonstrate something different to them. So, you know, that's part of what the platform is created for too. But, you know, we laugh, you know what I'm saying? We you know, you're going to learn something, you're going to be entertained, educated, and inspired, you know what I'm saying? So we got Instagram models and shit too. So, you know, we got something for everybody. So, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the podcast.
Man, it sounds dope, man.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. And, you know, you know, a lot of, I produce as well. You know, I came out here to get into producing movies and TV shows and shit. So I also have a TV show called 12 that I developed with me and actress Jasmine Lewis and Greg McBride. He's the writer. You know, super dope. I mean, you're talking about, you know, it's set in Kansas City, Missouri, you know what I mean? But it's gangster shit. We got Sticky Fingers attached to it. You know, we got Master P attached to it. We have Dion Cole attached to it. So, you know, I can't wait for the world to see that, you know what I mean? But being able to parlay my experiences, because, you know, a lot of 12, a lot of it, the content is from my experiences growing up in Kansas City, you know, either shit that I did, you know, my hustling days, you know, my shootout days, and even just stuff that I seen vicariously through other people, you know, so, you know, that's what I represent, man, you know, and that's all of that shit is just me, and that's being coached and taught by P, you know what I mean? Like, when you so close to somebody, a mogul as big as Master P, you can't help but, you know, be creative and do big shit, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't just run with each other, we push each other, you know. I push P, you know what I mean? I push P, he pushed me, we push each other to be great. That's what our team does, you know what I mean?
Man, that's what's up, man. That's dope shit.
Yeah, so, you know, that's the thing, man. You got to operate with a purpose, you know what I mean? Like, I'm purpose driven, you know. I pray for wisdom. I don't pray for money, you know what I mean? Money come and go, you know. We didn't have money. I done lost money and got it again, you know what I'm saying? And anybody that didn't have some money know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Especially us that come from the hood. You know, we're not you know, well versed, and we don't come from financial literacy and shit. So, you know, you have to fall on your ass to figure out and learn how to keep that shit. That's a science within itself, you know. So it's messages like that that I be trying to, you know, convey to the youngins, you know. And also, like, even with the Katt Williams story, you know, what's important about that story is, you know, man, sometimes you got to know how to exercise a level of forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we as black people, we tend to deal with each other so heavy-handedly. You know what I mean? You know, think about that. We'll see each other and we'll tear each other head off. You know, we'll just be so hard. But when the police come around or any type of other opposition, you know, we become a little more docile. So, you know, I like to try to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? And show motherfuckers that, you know, again, we can evolve and we can, you know, it's enough for everybody. You know, I want all people, but especially young niggas from the hood, man, to be able to give themselves a chance to survive and win in life. You know what I'm saying? Because so many didn't make it. You know what I mean? So that's what I represent, and that's what the podcast is really about.
Oh, okay. Dope, man. That's what's up. Did you ever meet Drake?
I met Drake one time. Funny story, man. Me and actress AJ Johnson. She was the actress in Baby Boy. She played Tyrese's mom.
Oh, okay.
Right, and she was in House Party. She is a close friend of mine. So we was meeting at, again, Philippe Child's. That was my spot. I would go there for the motherfucking chicken sautés and shit, right? So the same spot that we seen Suge. Me and her was there because we were working on I produced a couple little shows with her. So we were there, we met there, having a meeting there. So we were like in a private little area. So we're sitting at the table and Drake comes in. Drake and his family it was his grandmother. I'm talking about like his white side of the family. So they come in, it's a lot of them. And then he's got security with him and all that shit. They had the big long table. So, you know, he spoke, nodded or whatever. So we chilling. So about 15 minutes into it, I get up and I go to the restroom. And so I'm in the restroom about, you know, a couple minutes later. I come back, this nigga Drake over there talking to AJ, you know. So I'm kind of like, dog, like, you know, it was just weird. You know what I'm saying?
Were you guys dating?
No, we weren't dating.
Okay.
We weren't. But, you know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But no, we weren't dating at all. She was actually kind of like my business partner at the time. So Drake, I get up and he's over there. So I walk up, you know, and he's like, hey, what's up? How you doing, my brother? He was like, man, you know, so I introduced myself. So he's like, man, I just wanted to, you know, I didn't want to disturb y'all. I just wanted to tell her that I was a fan and I just wanted to give her respect, you know. And so I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it's all good. So, you know, he was pleasant. He was respectful. You know, I didn't get no funny vibe. But when we sat down, I kind of said to myself, I said to her, actually, I was like, man, that motherfucker could have said that shit while I was sitting here. You know what I mean? Like, why would you wait till I got up and left? But maybe he was just being polite. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't wait, because you don't know the dynamic with me and her. You know what I'm saying? And somebody could take that wrong. If, you know, a man gets up and leaves the table and comes back and it's another man talking to his, you know, you don't know if that was my girl or not. You know what I mean? That look a little sneaky. But then when people, you know, now you fast forward and you see all the rumors and the shit about him doing a lot of sneaky shit. You know what I mean? He good for sneaking in behind motherfuckers and fucking with their girl and taking their girls and shit. You know, which, you know, Drake couldn't take no woman from me anyway. But I'm just saying, you know, it could have been looked at like that at the time.
He didn't try to hit on her?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't. No, that's what I'm saying. He was, but not overtly. You know, he could have been, I don't know. He could have been trying to check the temperature. You know what I'm saying? To see what, you know, what's up, you would do, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Or it could have been what he said it was. He just didn't want to be, you know, he wanted to be polite. He didn't want to disturb us. And I guess once I excused myself, he felt the moment to tell her how he appreciated her and was a fan. So maybe that was the truth. I don't know. But given his track record, you know what I mean, and what motherfuckers say about him now.
It's suspect.
Yeah, it's suspect. You know what I'm saying? Drake was trying to shoot his shot. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to check the temperature to see if she was going to be like, oh, he's going to be back. Hurry up. You know what I'm saying? Here's my number. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, but that was the time that I met Drake. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think if I met that fool before. No, I think that was the only time.
Okay. I seen that you co-starred in I Got the Hook Up Too with Tiny Lister.
Yep. I got the hook up too, man. Man, that was a great experience. You know, rest in peace to my brother Tiny, you know, Debo. Yeah, we did. I got the hook up, man. That was something that P had did on his own. Him and Romeo executive produced that movie, and you know, it did what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? It was for the new generation. You know, some of the media tried to slam us with that movie, but at the end of the day, you know, that was a totally independent movie that went to theaters and still on TV now. It was successful. But yeah, working with Tiny, man, I had knew Tiny prior to that, you know, and for those who don't know, I played his little brother. Cookie. I played Big Cookie, and I got the hook up too. So basically, you know, for those who hadn't seen it, I took his Debo persona where he was on the bike. They had me on the bird scooter, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to update it, you know what I mean? So now I'm bullying motherfuckers on the bird scooter, you know what I mean? So, man, working with Tiny was dope. I've said this, man, nobody has advocated in Hollywood for me as much as Tiny and Jasmine Lewis. You know, he really adopted me, you know, like a little brother, treated me as such. He taught me a lot, you know, behind the camera in terms of being a big dude on camera. You know, whenever I would do acting or whatever, he would always tell me use my physicality to my advantage. And especially because, you know, he would always explain to me, he would say, Court, you know, it's not many big dudes, you know, in Hollywood, for real. He was like, you know, he's getting older. So, you know, you had Michael Jai White, who also came to my podcast. You know, you got Michael Jai White, but he's in the martial arts part of it, even though he can act and do other parts, but he's known for martial arts. Terry Crews, who does the physical comedy, you know what I mean? And then you had The Rock, you know, who is The Rock. And, you know, so it's not really a whole bunch of big black dudes that you know, they kind of have a lane. So he would tell me, you know, give me little tips and shit on doing what I do on camera as a big guy. And man, he was a sweet dude. He was Debo in real life. Like, you know, Tiny was a born again Christian, real sweet dude, teddy bear, but he was Debo. That motherfucker could snap in a minute, you know, and check a motherfucker. Debo for real. So man, good dude. He loved my family. You know what I'm saying? I loved his family, so that was a real big loss. You know, we actually had a TV show pilot that we had shot together. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had a TV. He had a. It was called Tiny's, and he had a TV show. And he made them make me the executive producer. I played his little brother. You know, and we had a reality show pilot that we filmed together. So, you know, Tiny, that was my guy. Matter of fact, we did another movie called The Sesh together. He made them put me in the movie. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, it's my little brother. You know, if you want me, you got to take him too. You know, so yeah, that was my brother, man.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah, Tiny Lister, that was my brother.
How was it doing? I got the hookup too.
Man,
Who else was in the movie?
Fat Boy, SSC, DC Young Fly, shit, everybody. The motherfucker had 100 and something roles in it.
All the youngsters, right?
All the youngsters. And that's why that movie was created like that. See, a lot of the people that was familiar with I Got the Hookup 1, they were expecting that, a sequel. But well, I guess it was kind of like a sequel, but they were thinking, it was for now. So now you have a bunch of Instagram people, social media people. So the story is there is a through line in the story, but it's also like a bunch of like clips. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of structured like that, where you had these moments, you know, almost like IG clips. So a lot of people, they, you know, once they looked at it through the lens of that, then they got it. You know what I'm saying? The only motherfuckers that were critical were just the haters and the people looking for something to say. But the people that wanted to be entertained and the youngsters, they knew what it was and they laughed and they loved it. You know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, that comes with the territory, man. We in this internet age, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do? Everybody got a fucking opinion.
Everybody's got an opinion, man.
You know what I mean?
It's real shit, dog. People who should not have opinions
exactly
have opinions.
And social media has given a voice to any and everybody, you know, and people are followers. And then, you know, the comment section is where the war is won or lost. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get a motherfucker in there just trying to be funny, and that motherfucker can turn the tide of public opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you get enough people getting in there on the same bullshit, like this some bullshit, it's just gonna take on a life of its own. You know, people are sheep these days, so it is what it is.
Half the time, it seems like dudes are just talking shit.
That's what I'm saying.
To talk shit.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know, because sometimes I read these comments and I'm like, you can't be believing this shit. Like, this, you can't believe that this is true.
But what they trying to do, I'm gonna tell you what they're trying to do. The motherfuckers in the comments that whoever tries to say the most incendiary shit, they're trying to get clout. They're trying to get people to like their comment and then come to their fucking page to find out who said the comment. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with what the fuck the topic, or if it does, it's just who can say the most fuck shit. Because nobody's gonna go to your page if you say, oh man, this is good, salute. You know, right. Nobody's gonna, but if you get on there and say, man, this shit trash, woo, 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 and you say something funny, then everybody gonna be, you know, that's just what it is. You know, so that's the world we live in now.
Yeah, real shit, man. It's true. Man, I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate you having me, bro. We had to do this again in the future. You know what I'm saying? When I got some more stories to come back and share with you from now to then. You know what I mean? I appreciate you having me, my brother.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope stories, man.
Yeah, for sure.